Okay, so you're here because you want to get a handle on the whole hypertrophy versus strength training thing.
Yeah.
And I know you're someone who wants to learn quickly and effectively, right? So no time wasted.
Absolutely. Straight to the point.
You want to make sure you're doing the right things to hit your goals, whether you're, just starting out with lifting or maybe you've been at it for a while and you really want to optimize your routine.
Yeah, and they both involve resistance training.
Right.
Both can change your physique. But how you get there, the mechanisms and how to best achieve each of those are actually quite different.
Yeah, for sure. And so you sent over this really cool article from PhysioHub that I think does a fantastic job of breaking this whole thing down.
Yeah, really good evidence-based stuff.
Yeah.
Really in-depth.
Yeah, so our mission today is to give you like a crystal clear, practical understanding of how training for muscle size, which is hypertrophy, is different from training for strength. So you can actually apply this knowledge to your workouts, right?
Yeah, definitely. And, people ask me all the time, what's the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not always so clear-cut.
For sure, for sure.
We're going to lay it all out.
Awesome. Okay, so let's just dive right in, starting with hypertrophy. So in the simplest terms, what is hypertrophy all about?
Okay, so hypertrophy at its core, it's about increasing the size of your muscles. Right?
Okay, so it's about size.
It's about size, yeah.
Straight up.
And the PhysioHub article actually references research in current opinion in physiology, and they explain that this happens through the expansion of the proteins within your existing muscle fibers.
Interesting.
It's not necessarily about creating new muscle cells, but more about like taking the ones you have and bulking them up.
Okay, so almost like if you think about like yarn.
Yeah, like individual threads of yarn.
Like you're making the yarn thicker.
Exactly. And then all those threads together make a bigger muscle.
Oh, that's a really good visual. Okay, so it's not about more cells. It's
about increasing the size of the cells you have. That's the primary way hypertrophy training works.
Okay.
And the PhysioHub article actually does a really good job of outlining the different factors that can influence this growth, right?
Yeah.
It's not just one thing.
Right. It's not just lift weights, get big.
Yeah, it's about how hard you're working, the number of reps you're doing, your rest periods, your sets, and even the specific exercises you're choosing. It's a combination of all those things.
Wow. Okay, so a lot of levers we can pull.
Lots of different things to think about.
So the article cites guidelines from NASM, which is the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I know a lot of fitness pros go through their training programs.
Yeah, they're a really reputable organization.
So NASM, they give us some practical guidance, right?
They do.
Like, what do they typically recommend for someone whose primary goal is hypertrophy?
So for hypertrophy, they typically recommend lifting moderate weights somewhere between 75% and 85% of your 1RM.
Okay, and 1RM, just for people who aren't familiar.
Yeah, your 1RM is your 1 rep max. It's the absolute heaviest weight you can lift for 1 rep. So 75 to 85% of that for multiple sets of 6 to 12 reps.
Okay, so you're lifting heavy, but you're not going super heavy.
Yeah, exactly. And that range tends to create a good amount of what we call metabolic stress and muscle fatigue.
Oh, I've heard that term.
That burning sensation you get in your muscles?
Yeah.
That's kind of a key indicator that you're in that range.
Okay, so you want to feel the burn, essentially.
To a certain extent, yeah. It's a good sign that you're challenging your muscles and stimulating that growth.
Got it. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. You're lifting heavy enough to challenge the muscle,
right?
But you're also keeping it under tension for a good amount of time with those slightly higher reps.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the kind of the bread and butter hypertrophy range. But then the PhysioHub article also gets into some more advanced methods.
Yeah, it does.
That can really kind of kick things up a notch. So what are some of those techniques that people can experiment with?
Yeah, so they highlight a few cool techniques from the Strength and Conditioning Journal. Things like forced reps, where you have a spotter, help you squeeze out a couple more reps after you can't do it on your own anymore.
Okay.
Drop sets, where you immediately reduce the weight after you can't do any more reps and just keep going with that lighter weight.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of extending the set in a way.
Exactly. You're just getting more volume in.
Okay.
And then heavy negatives, where you really emphasize the lowering part of the lift.
So like controlling the weight on the way down.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
So these are all ways to kind of like squeeze.
It can increase that total stress and demand on the muscle.
Got it. Okay, so that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Now, something I've always been curious about, and the article actually touches on this, is the whole debate about training to failure.
Oh, yeah.
For hypertrophy, do you absolutely have to push every single set to the point where you can't do another rep?
It's a great question. And there's no easy answer.
Okay.
There's a lot of research going back and forth on this.
Okay.
And the PhysioHub article does a good job of acknowledging that ongoing discussion.
Yeah.
So, while it's definitely important to challenge yourself for growth, whether you have to hit that point of complete failure every single time,
Yeah.
that's still up for debate.
Okay.
Some studies do suggest it can be beneficial, but other research shows that, maybe getting close to failure might be just as effective
Okay.
and even better for your recovery in the long run.
Interesting. Okay, so it's not like a hard and fast rule.
It's not, and it probably varies a bit from person to person too.
Okay, so maybe something to experiment with a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Listen to your body.
All right, so that's hypertrophy in a nutshell, making those muscles bigger by focusing on volume, moderate intensity.
Yep.
Now let's shift gears to strength training. What's the name of the game there?
So strength training, it's all about increasing your muscle's ability to produce maximum force.
Okay, so it's not about size now, it's about
It's about raw power.
power. Right?
Making those muscles strong and efficient at lifting heavy things.
Okay, so when we talk about intensity for strength gains, how does that compare to what we just discussed with hypertrophy?
So it's a pretty big jump, actually.
Okay.
Again, looking at those NASM guidelines,
Right.
they recommend working with much heavier loads for strength gains.
Okay.
So typically, you're doing just 1 to 5 reps.
Wow, so much lower reps.
Much lower reps with weights that are 85 to 100% of your 1 RM, that maximum weight you can lift.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking heavy.
We're talking really heavy.
Yeah.
And this type of training, it really challenges your nervous system
Okay.
to recruit as many muscle fibers as possible and generate that peak force.
So it's as much about the nervous system as it is about the muscles themselves.
It's a huge part of it. Yeah, it's that mind-muscle connection.
Interesting. Okay, so fewer reps, but much heavier weight.
Yeah, that's the key.
Okay, now beyond just being able to, lift a ton of weight, what are some other advantages of strength training?
Oh, there are tons of benefits.
Okay.
The PhysioHub article mentions things like increased bone density, which is super important for long-term health. A boost in calorie expenditure, even when you're resting,
Oh, wow.
because muscle burns more calories at rest.
Okay.
Improved functional fitness, so everyday tasks become easier.
Like carrying groceries up the stairs.
Exactly.
Okay.
Potentially preventing injuries
Oh, interesting.
because you're strengthening the muscles and tissues around your joints.
Right, so they can handle more stress.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And of course, improved performance in pretty much any athletic activity.
And speaking of that, the article cites some really interesting research from the Strength and Conditioning Journal
Oh, yeah.
that links strength training to improvements in endurance activities like cycling and running.
Yeah, that's a surprising one for a lot of people.
Right, because you think strength training, oh, that's for power lifters. But it can actually help your endurance.
It can, because when you increase your maximum strength, your muscles become more efficient, even when they're working at lower intensities, like during a long run or a bike ride.
No, that makes sense. So they don't have to work as hard.
So hopefully they can kind of cruise along a bit more.
So your muscles are just better at utilizing energy.
Yep, they become like well-oiled machines.
All right, so we've got hypertrophy leaning towards size, moderate weight, more reps.
Mm-hmm.
Strength training, targeting force heavy weight, fewer reps.
That's the gist of it.
But then the PhysioHub article gets into some of the nuances where these two might actually overlap.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dig into that a bit.
Okay.
What's the fundamental difference in how you're actually stressing your body when you're doing these two types of training?
So the article references research from Current Opinion in Physiology again, and they highlight that hypertrophy is largely triggered by higher training volume.
Okay.
So more sets, higher rep ranges, all that leads to that metabolic stress we talked about.
Right, that burn.
Exactly. Strength gains, on the other hand, they're primarily driven by those very heavy loads
Okay.
that really challenge your neuromuscular system, that connection between your brain and your muscles.
So it's more about the signal from the brain to the muscle to contract with as much force as possible.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about exercise selection? Does that tend to vary between hypertrophy and strength training?
It can. So for strength training, you often see a focus on compound exercises,
Okay.
which are movements that work multiple joints and muscle groups at the same time.
Okay.
Things like squats, deadlifts, bench presses.
Big movements.
Yeah, big movements that allow you to lift the heaviest weights.
Got it.
Hypertrophy training can definitely include compound movements too,
Okay.
but often you'll see more isolation exercises, things that just focus on a single muscle group.
Okay, so like bicep curls and tricep extensions, that kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah, and the American Council on Exercise, which the article mentions, they note that compound exercises with barbells and dumbbells can have a really big metabolic effect, which is great for growth,
Okay.
while machines can be really effective for isolating specific muscles.
So you can kind of pick and choose based on your goal.
Okay.
It's interesting. Now, the article also points out that this whole strict separation of hypertrophy versus strength
Yeah.
might be a bit too simplistic.
Yeah, it's a bit of a false dichotomy in some ways.
Okay.
Because research from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research indicates that both types of training can actually lead to muscle growth.
Interesting. So it's not like one shuts off the other completely.
Exactly. You're not going to completely prevent hypertrophy by lifting heavy,
Okay.
but the research also suggests that strength training with those heavier loads is generally more effective at increasing your maximum strength.
Okay. So if strength is your primary goal, you definitely want to be lifting heavy.
Yeah, for sure. But you'll still see some hypertrophy as a side effect.
Okay. And vice versa. If you're lifting for hypertrophy, you might see some strength gains, but it's not going to be the primary adaptation.
That's right.
Okay. And that's something that the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research also supports, saying that while lifting heavy is the best way to increase your 1RM, muscle growth can occur across a wider spectrum of rep ranges and loads. So it's not all about that 6 to 12 rep range.
It's not. It's a bit more nuanced than that.
Okay, so they're distinct but definitely interconnected.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, how do these two actually work together?
Yeah.
And how can someone, especially athletes, since the PhysioHub article mentions that,
Right.
put this knowledge into practice?
So the article makes a really important point. Building bigger muscles through hypertrophy can contribute to your strength potential.
Okay.
Think about it. If you have a larger muscle with more fibers, it has the capacity to generate more force.
Right. More raw material to work with.
Exactly. It's like having a bigger engine, more potential power.
Okay. And so that's why the experts at PhysioHub recommend that athletes and really anyone looking to improve their overall fitness incorporate both strength and hypertrophy training into their routine.
Yeah, you want that balance.
Okay.
And they offer a few key tips for making this practical. The first one is to clarify your goals. Are you mainly focused on increasing muscle size, or is your primary goal boosting your strength?
So kind of like know your why.
Exactly, because that answer should guide how you structure your training.
That sounds like a crucial first step.
It is, yeah.
What's the second recommendation?
The second one is to mix up your techniques.
Okay.
You don't want to get stuck in a rut doing the same thing all the time.
Right. Keep your body guessing.
Exactly. Use things like drop sets for hypertrophy
Okay.
to really fatigue those muscles and create that metabolic stress.
Right.
But also make sure you're including compound exercises with heavier loads to build strength.
So it's about incorporating both.
Yeah, they work best together.
Okay, so you might cycle through periods where you focus more on one aspect.
Yeah.
Or maybe even combine them within the same workout or training week.
Absolutely. There's lots of different ways to approach it.
Okay, and then what's that final recommendation from the PhysioHub experts?
So the final one is to adopt a balanced approach. Integrating both types of training into your overall plan is the most effective way to see those comprehensive improvements in muscle size, strength, and overall athletic capability.
So it's about the big picture.
It is. You're getting the best of both worlds.
All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key things you should remember about hypertrophy and strength training?
Okay, so the core difference is this hypertrophy training is focused on increasing muscle size through higher training volume and moderate loads. Strength training prioritizes increasing the muscle's ability to produce maximum force through high intensity and lower repetitions.
Okay.
Both are valuable, they're interconnected, and building a bigger muscle can actually lay the foundation for greater strength.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're listening to this and you're the kind of person who wants to learn things quickly and effectively, I think this deep dive has given you a really good shortcut
I hope so.
to understanding these concepts that people often get confused.
Yeah.
Now you have a much clearer picture of how to train for size versus strength, why you might choose one approach over the other, or ideally how to incorporate both.
Yeah, and that actually brings up a really interesting thought.
Yeah.
Now that you understand these underlying mechanisms of muscle adaptation,
Right.
how your muscles change, whether they grow bigger or get stronger,
Yeah.
how could you use that knowledge to fine-tune your training for any physical goal you might have?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, and think beyond the gym too. How can this understanding of adaptation inform how you approach movement and physical development in all areas of your life?
That's a really cool way to look at it.
It's all connected.
Awesome. Well, I think we'll leave it there.
Sounds good.
As always, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.
See ya.